throw that out there.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
You fucked it up, man.
Live Free or Die, episode .5. Spoiler alert! Hey, Mondo here. I'm your co-host.
And other co-hosts will... I'm not going to say my last name at this point because you're going to rob me of my identity. This is our little podcast that we've kind of put together because, well, we think our time is due. And we're going to call this show .5 because it isn't going to be a whole show because we're just too stupid and new at this. So we're going to run with it.
Yep. Agreed. So yeah, don't really have too much to say about myself. I've been hanging out with this other co-host for quite some time, and he won't leave me alone. So we decided to make the best of it, and it's been a good friendship so far. He likes sandwiches, and I feed him Cheerios out of my pocket on warm days.
I love it. Are they the frosted kind though?
Oh yeah. They're not the protein Cheerios. Those are special for you.
I didn't want to go there.
But yeah,
we're getting ready for some little tasty treats coming up pretty soon here, right?
Yeah, we've got a lot of things planned. Got some getting some interviews lined up. People will be on the shows as guests, and you can always follow us on our Instagram and Facebook page, which will be Live Free or Die.
Twitter.
We've got Twitter too. We got a website in the works, and soon we'll have some good things. And hopefully you guys will be tuning in to listen to us. So, yeah.
Well, when I said tasty treats, I was more or less talking about Halloween candy, but you went a totally different direction. That's okay.
Plug the show, damn it. Plug it.
Nice. Such a whore. So, Halloween's coming up. So what's your plan, man?
My plan this year is honestly to take care of my wife because she's having surgery. But we're still passing out candy. I've got some scary masks to wear. I have always been kind of a DIY person when it comes to Halloween. It's one of my favorite holidays. I love it. And I used to, my uncles used to make our costumes. And, I can tell you they made some pretty kick-ass costumes for me. One year I was a Ghostbuster. And they took, like a cardboard box and some vacuum hose tubing, and I had like a trap I could throw out. I had a little, the proton pack with it was like a spinning pie plate with a couple Christmas lights, green ones that were sticking out, and
so you
it was
basically
motorized.
your uncle's garage.
And, it was pretty neat. So I really like, growing up, like Halloween was always fun, But I'm that generation that would walk around until 10 or 11 at night with a pillow sack. Going to the rich neighborhoods first, then going back to different parts of the neighborhood I grew up in, and try to fill that up as nice as I could. Nowadays, I don't see it's just not safe for your kids to be out there like that.
Well, everything nowadays is totally different. With pedophiles and molesters and mondos walking around, you just never know what's going to happen.
Oh yeah.
And you
it was just groups of your friends that you'd go out door to door. Like I said, until like late night, and then go home. They still X-rays your candy.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing too. You don't have all these cool scares like there's needles in your Kit Kat bars and shit like that. Now it's all.
Right.
We used to have this Chinese family down the street that would always give out apples every year, and everybody's like, "Oh, that sucks! It sucks!" And I actually kind of liked it, because it's different.
Yeah.
Of course, they just had to be that. Typical 80s standout minority family on the block that had something weird going on.
All right.
But
at least they weren't pomegranates, right? Oh,
pomegranates suck, man. They're the hardest thing to eat.
Dude, I love those things.
They're
but that's
good,
a whole other topic.
But it's like way too much work for those little itty bitty seeds.
You gotta beat them out.
That's what she said.
Yeah, there was a lot of houses that were like that. There were a couple. I think I had gone to some houses in Valparaiso and Crown Point that were like popcorn balls and apples. A lot of kids. I was kind of one of those kids that for a while that I just wanted candy. But then you do find those rare houses that are like, here's an apple or here's a popcorn ball, and I said, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? But all those things are like representing fall.
Right.
Fall harvest, and it's
Right.
still kind of like you said, it's refreshing. It's good to see that. Now the houses you hated were the ones that were like, oh, here, have a toothbrush and toothpaste packet. And
No,
it's
it's
like,
those
bitch.
freaking orange and black stupid Mary Jane things or whatever.
Oh,
the
I
hell they
hate
were.
those fucking candy.
Oh,
Yeah.
They should turn those like in the wax or something and just paint, burn them.
Yeah, yeah. I would dump out my bag and I would put a pile aside of just those. And what was it? That was bit of honey, man. I hate those things too.
Yeah,
It's
they're
almost
about
the same thing. And I just push those aside. Like my uncles and my mom would be like, "Oh my god, you don't want this? Nope, you can have it. It's all you."
Yeah, and that's why they all have dentures now.
Yep.
You done cracked your shit.
It's pure cane sugar in there, boy. But yeah, that's I think that's what's different as far as costumes go. Like I said, I've always been. It's rare that I've actually bought one. I'll buy some masks, but I won't buy an actual costume. I usually make my own. So, I've been really getting into it in the last few years, and just growing up, like I never could find one that I really, I didn't want to be Captain America. I didn't want to be store bought Captain America. I wanted to be my own. Like I wanted to get like if I wanted to be Superman, I would get like a red towel or cloth or something, and spray paint an S on a t-shirt. Like I just, I wanted to do something that was different than everybody else.
Yeah, well, the problem is I was the opposite. We always were buying the stupid plastic mask things with the rubber band on the back that would, last like 5 minutes before you even got out the door.
Right.
It wasn't until my teen years that we really got into making our own costumes. And then, the one year, me and Pete decided we were going to buy our superhero costumes, and
Oh, I remember that.
yeah, it was the most unflattering things in the world because we were fat, tubby chunks, with no muscle definition. It's like, man, it looks so good on TV.
I like the.
So that you remember what we did? We like stuffed like towels down our leg to make it look like we had huge Johnsons.
Yeah, which was pretty rad, actually.
Pretty bad.
I was gonna say I like the improvised prosthetic was very cool.
That's right.
But yeah, that was very spandexy, but that's '90s. You can get away with it. It's fine.
No, I don't think the '90s even was gonna let that one go through.
So yeah, I mean, today I think Halloween sucks for me now as an adult because one, no one's handing out bacon and little vials of alcohol. Because that would be awesome if they did that. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I could walk down the street with a fistful of bacon and some wild turkey, and I'll give a woohoo. And what are you supposed to be, drunk? Let's get it there. Like that's kind of where I would like. But that and the hours, man. It's like every year it seems they cut it by another hour. Pretty soon it's going to be like 5 to 5 and 55 seconds.
5:05.
You've got like 10 seconds to run around. It's going to be like Halloween Purge running around out there. Like,
it's like a Navy SEALs mission. Somebody's rushing the door with a wheelbarrow. Give it all.
Yeah, that's I don't know. Like the hours suck, and you having kids. Like, what is that?
Well, it's definitely a different ball game now. And you take them, and the older kid. Well, my son, he's just like he is the madman on a mission out there, just door to door to door to door. Running through.
Right.
Meanwhile, I got my 3-year-old who's like on still the same first house. He's like 4 doors down already. So, and then you got to take a million pictures because you'll never see your kid tomorrow again. So,
right.
It's it's fun for them, and you get a kick out of that, and you see the other kids, and see if your kid gets scared or not. And it used to be neighbors that where we used to go that would come out and like scare the kids with like a chainsaw and shit. But
yeah,
nothing quite as cool as that. And, in fact, even I think overall the decorating is really gone down. Nobody's being real creative or just going all out anymore. Everybody just throws like 4 blow-up things in their front yards and calls it good. Yeah,
that there's actually a guy that lives close to where I do, and every year he does something for like Christmas and Halloween, and every year he seems to add more. Like he's got like a corner lot at this intersection, and I'm not kidding, man. Like almost corner to corner of his yard is like moving Halloween stuff. There's like the wacky inflatable flailing arm trees and like all kind of crazy stuff. Like he goes all out, man. It's awesome. At Christmas he does the same thing, but there aren't too many people that get into the decorating. We hang stuff, I don't know how different that is from, back in the day. It seemed to be like the bigger houses would decorate a little more, but it wasn't. I still don't remember seeing a whole lot of people doing something other than hanging like the little plastic tablecloth thing with Frankenstein or something like that on the outside.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, well,
it's
I
just
think for a while there,
Done.
yeah, like when we were kids, it wasn't really much decorating, but then like in the I would say the 90s to the the early 2000s, it was like a big deal. I mean, actually,
Right.
Halloween's the second biggest party day.
yeah. Then what was the first Thanksgiving?
No,
I think, isn't it?
No,
Or
I think
Thanksgiving
actually
Eve?
New Year's Eve topped it,
Hmm.
but it was
I'm gonna
definitely
look that up.
it was definitely number two. I know that.
'Cause I remember they made a big deal about the Thanksgiving Eve. They were like, "Yeah, soon the bars are always busy."
Oh yeah, yeah. What is that? What do they call that? Black Wednesday or something?
Yeah, because everyone's back. College kids, high school kids are out. They're drinking, and
Dying by the
there's just so
thousands.
many people. Yeah, let's sneak in the club and get blackout drunk.
Yeah. Hey, don't sound half bad. Of course, when you're 37, pushing 38, it sounds a little rough. We went to my conference last week, and Tuesday was a night from hell.
Did you go out?
Yeah, we went out, and it was rough. I woke up sideways on my bed.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it was 6:18. I just couldn't believe that I only had like an hour left to sleep. It was like, no.
So wait, you were laying down in your bed like normal,
No,
vertically.
I was like face down, sideways on my bed. And apparently, I'd sent an email to my one buddy that I don't even remember sending. Where I
Wow,
said-
that's awesome.
I told him I was so drunk, and where's my wingman? I remember the drunk part, but I don't remember where's my wingman.
Hold my hair. Don't look at me.
Oh, I thought I was gonna blow, and you know what? It was sad because all I'd been drinking was Blue Moon.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna get
I wasn't.
a domesticated craft beer,
No, it
that's
was
kind of
it was Blue
powerful, I
Moon's
would
draft,
say.
man.
It's a lot stronger than Sam Adams.
Well, it was just Blue Moon Draft. They had it on tap, and pretty much it was free because all you wanted because of the conference. And I mean, this place was awesome because, well, for one, it was like a miniature golf place, and we were out there half cracked trying to play miniature golf on this course that was actually kind of tough because there was a lot of obstacles like directly in the way of the hole. So we were all just falling all over and being stupid. But they had waitresses going around just like, oh, you need something? You need something? Oh, yeah, bring me that, bring me that, bring me. Oh my god, dude. At some point, I ended up playing cornhole, or they called it bags up there, and luckily my partner was only partially drunk because he pretty much, and he was a ringer, man. He was nailing the hole almost every time. So I was like, but I was always the guy that would stumble in at the last couple points and bring it home. So we killed him.
Nice. Did they have like multiple cornhole boards there?
Yeah, they had like these plastic ones that were small and kind of cheesy, and they didn't have them all split apart really far.
Mhm.
But they had like a whole room in the back, and it was kind of like looked like it was like almost like a 3-season type of room where only like part of the year they actually used it. And mind you, this is Minneapolis, so I mean everything gets crazy cold up there, right?
Right.
And it was pretty far apart. I think it was I don't even know, probably over 30 feet apart.
Yeah, that's not bad though. I mean, there's a place in Louisville that Spring and I went to. Went down there for anniversary one year, and they had cornhole at this bar. The bar was actually pretty awesome, but it was on 4th Street, so it's like upstairs. I think it's something else. I don't know if it's the same bar now, but they had cornhole there. And man, I tell you what, there's like a line. I was like, really? You guys are waiting, and the people just drinking beer, getting wasted in line to play cornhole. And I was like, I don't think this is gonna be a good idea.
Yeah, I couldn't believe
We got a bunch of drunk people throwing around bean bags, so we'll see what happens. But I mean, it was a good time, But that seems to be, I'd say from Kentucky to Ohio. I've been to Wisconsin. I haven't seen anybody play or heard about it, but that could have changed,
Yeah. Well, you got to be near the college towns, and there's a college right across the river up there in Minneapolis, so everybody's playing.
Right. It's just a good way to just kill time.
Oh,
I
hell yeah.
prefer flippy cup or beer pong, but that's just me.
Well, I mean, it's
Not gonna
definitely
say
a
I'm
sport
good.
that a couple drinks in and you're feeling loose enough that you play like a pro.
Flippy cup?
No, no, no. I'm talking cornhole, but ping cup.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm not a pro at ping cup, so I just can never get that bounce right. You know what I could go for right now?
What's that?
A Zima.
Oh. Oh, which one?
Yeah, I went there.
That's probably like the high school go-to. You know what I mean? Like, if you needed drinks, if you wanted beer, quote unquote,
Yeah, right.
maybe yeah, let's get some
It's like
beer.
clear beer.
But honestly, like it wasn't until later where you were like, that's kind of girly.
No, yeah,
It tastes
well,
like Sprite.
I just hadn't really developed a taste for beer yet, and that kind of that's one of those things you just kind of work on.
Yeah, but it was Zima at first.
Mm-hmm.
I think then we graduated to Hooch. Remember Hooch?
No, I'm not. I thought Hooch
No?
was just like a generic name.
Well, it is, but it was like something Hooch, and it was that orange flavored stuff. It actually came. It was a lemon flavored first, and then it went to orange.
I've not
But
tried that
I
one.
digress. Zima was like you knew chicks that had like that was a Tracy Chapman album and a fucking 6-pack of Zima. Like that was a good high school night for some chicks.
Alright.
Like no shit. Like that's just what it was.
All right, where's my Thelma and Louise rendition? I gotta drive over a cliff now because you just called me a total bitch.
But no, I actually didn't because I
And I followed that up with Alanis Morissette, didn't I?
Yeah.
Isn't that ironic? Fuck you, you naked bitch.
She was. That's really her too. She drank Zima. That's why she was naked.
She drank Zima, got naked, showed her square, bushy bush, and then played God on Dogma.
She got real.
Yeah, she got real quick.
We knew then she was truly a hippie.
I was about to say SpongeBob instead of Silent Bob. Oh my god, I need a drink.
So I remember one time back in the region, there was a friend of mine, and he worked at Baskin Robbins. So at the time, I worked at Strax, and I happened to be off that day. I happened to walk over to the ice cream shop there, and he was getting off work. So the manager's leaving. She knew me. She closed up. And he was like, "Hey, Mondo." And I was like, "Yeah, what's up?" He's like, "Hey, come in the back." I was like, "Well, am I allowed back there?" He's like, "Yeah, it's cool. Come back here." So what's sitting back there? I'm not even kidding. 2 like 32-ounce ice cold, ice like frost on the bottle, like Zimas. And I was like, "Where did you get this?"
Where was this at?
This was at this Baskin Robbins that was up there, and so he's like, "Yeah, let's drink it," So we drank a little bit, and he was like, "If you drink inside and you go outside and it's colder, like it does something to the blood alcohol level." And I was like, "You're too smart for me. I want to keep drinking." So,
Dude, he was totally trying to get you to go outside naked.
yeah, we go out there, we go outside, and we walk to Jedi's Garden, right? So all of a sudden, his buddy that he's working with, we're walking down the street, and there's this like ravine that just drops off there in the street, and I never knew it was down there because it was always so overgrown.
Yeah.
And so he was like, I can't see where you guys are. We look back and we don't know where he is. We hear his voice. And I wasn't like hammered, but I was like, what happened? Like, where'd you
Start
go?
hearing psycho
And then he
music
just
playing.
walks
or
up
what?
the other side of the ravine because I guess he just kept walking. And I was like, where'd you go? He was so hammered, dude. What we were doing before we left was we would pop the tops. Did you ever do that with those?
Yeah.
Because it was like a malt. I guess it was like a malt-based liquor. So if you hit that, it would fizz up, and it was supposed to do something.
Right, and you hope you didn't shatter the bottle in the process.
Right, exactly. So we're like doing shots like that. We get to Jedi's, and I was pretty tore up at that point. I don't know what it is, but going outside drinking, specifically that stuff, kind of got me weirded out. Like I felt weird after drinking Zima. I guess that was kind of like the first hangover experience with crappy beer.
Hey, nothing wrong with SEMA. I'm telling you, we got to bring it back. We're taking it back.
Yeah.
Like Randall took back Porch Monkey.
What?
You ever see Clerks 2?
Which one are we taking back? Are we taking blue back or are we taking the citrus flavor back? Did you ever try that? The green label?
No, I don't really remember that one. I remember the blue for sure.
Well, I didn't understand it because it's like you have regular, which is citrus flavored, and then it was like citrus flavored Zima was the green one, and I was like, what?
It just wasn't
How is that?
citrusy enough.
How's it different? Yeah,
It's like they shoved Mountain Dew up its ass.
yeah. I was just like, how is this? It tastes like sweeter Zima. That's great. But yeah, I mean, I had good times with that. I think I drank a few of those at your house and got kind of wasted. So yeah,
That never happened.
not gonna say how we got that.
Yeah,
but yeah.
right. Dude, you remember the party when Tony Washik brought the whole case of wine coolers?
Who brought him?
Tony Washik, remember him?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so he apparently went back to Strax, took a box, and was acting like he was just taking the box, because they give away the boxes for free if you remove it or whatever.
Right.
So him and the other kid, I don't remember his name, but they were tight and they rolled in there, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna get these boxes," and so they stuffed a whole box of wine coolers in there, and just walked out with it.
I kind of remember the idea. I was like, yeah, because they would let like customers go back there and shop, and I was like, there's no cameras back there. Like, how do you know what they're coming out with? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I don't think they were letting them. It's just the customers would do it because, oh, hey, this is my store. I've been shopping here since I was in diapers. They just did whatever they want, One of the old dairy managers there, back in the day, some old man walked back into the dairy cooler, and he was just like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
that's awesome.
So of course the store manager found out, right? And in the process, it was like, hey, he wasn't supposed to be back there. He just needed to know. but the store manager loved him, so he was just like,
I just wanted a gallon of milk.
he was just like, whatever.
All right. I got yelled at for stopping somebody from going back there. But yeah, I remember that party because
Ange got crocked on like 2 wine coolers.
oh, dude, she was lightweight. She was like way lightweight.
But yeah, when I used to be black, that's when I got beat up a lot. I love that story. When I was working in the maintenance department, we were just BSing one day, and I just threw that out there. When I used to be black, and everybody's
awesome.
like, it was like the record scratch came up, And everybody turned around.
Everyone stopped. They're like,
about?
"What are you talking about?
We were talking like.
What do you mean you
My
used
one
to be?"
assistant, she was listening to rap music a lot, and we were just messing around.
Yeah, it's still funny though. I mean, I would use
had my
that.
days of wearing baggy pants and thinking I was hardcore, and then realized
Janko, baby, I remember that.
hell yeah.
How many times you cut my hair, Will?
And you couldn't get them baggy enough, right? I had a pair that had a pocket in them.
Oh no.
I could literally put a whole notebook in flat in this pocket, like a whole 8 by 11 notebook.
And that, and it's funny too, because honestly, I think they just kind of took it to the extreme. Like when Hot Topic got real big here, here for us,
Right.
like that's when they started to get those really baggy. Like it looks like you're wearing.
At some point, it became an alternative thing, right?
Covers. Someone what?
It became like an alternative look, not so much the gangsta look.
Yeah, that's what they became. But before that, like you could tell, like they would just get bigger. Like
Right.
you said, like you just couldn't find it. Like you'd always try to find the baggiest Jinkos you have to have. Like you'd have to go look for them.
It's not
And then
baggy
they were the
enough.
ones that had like the design, the name on the down the sleeve, down the leg, and you
Right.
would see like each year it would just get a little bigger. So it was like, does that say Janko or what does that say? Joker? Like what's going on with that
Yeah,
design?
nobody could figure it out. I just wear it because it's cool.
It's Fly.
Yeah,
Bruh.
that's dope. Good talk, man. Good talk. Wanna see? Our live studio audience thinks so too.
Good story, bro.
Bruh. So I used to read Naruto manga all the time, and now it's over. So it's like, what do we do with this? Life as I know it has ended. That happened back in November. It's just I can't even believe it's been almost a year. I read that crap for like 10 years straight.
Uh,
You ever get into any manga?
yeah, I used to watch. Yeah, I used to watch a bunch of anime.
No, I mean read, man. You gotta read.
No, well, I did some. I read some. I took the easy road and wanted to watch it.
Yeah, reading's hard.
Some of those that they did convert to video and DVD were actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, it stuck true to the story. Yeah, I didn't actually know that you actually started reading some of those. When did you start reading the mangas, as they call them?
Well, I mean, actually, a friend of mine, Kat, who was a friend of
Yeah.
Crystal. You remember Crystal, right? Well, of course you remember Crystal. But do you remember Kat?
Well, I know Cat too. Yeah, I remember Cat.
So she kind of clued me into Naruto, and I originally started out back in the days when Kazaa was still big and downloading videos. You know, I had just gotten DSL, so I was like having this huge download boner.
Yeah.
And I was basically just downloading every episode that I could get my hands on at the time. It was like, eventually I caught up to the series, watching them all, and so then I was like, all right, this isn't good enough. So then I got into the manga, which is like, it was much further ahead back then. So I would just read it all the time, but then you get caught up even on that, and then you're kind of like, all right, every week I gotta wait for some bullshit to come out, and I don't know. It's one of those things like they should just not make it such a drawn out thing.
Right.
I mean, I guess it makes
Dragon Ball
sense.
Z is the same way, though.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to some degree because you want to keep your interest of your readers, and obviously the longer they're thinking about it, the more their potential to spend money on it is. But at the same time, and I can't imagine in Tokyo it's any better, or in Japan for that matter, that things come and go so quick nowadays. For anything to last like more than 3 years, you're asking for a miracle.
Yeah, I mean, there's been very few things in between there. That time that has made it all that time. There's been a lot of good things that should have been pushed that never were, and then there's been a lot of crappy things that have gone on for too long. That's just that's how it is. Sometimes if you have enough money to throw at something, it just works. You just make it work.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure. I know in Japan it was obviously a bigger deal than it was here. I mean, they tried to bring Naruto over here, and it fell flat. I mean, you still catch it sometimes on. It went from Cartoon Network to Disney. I think it went back to Cartoon Network. I don't remember. It was all weird how they did it.
Yeah, and it's fun. Well, and it's coming. I think it's coming back around now because of Netflix.
Yeah.
And Hulu. Like you can pretty much watch it at your leisure.
Right.
That's
binge watch it all.
That's kind of just where we are as I would say, just as Americans. We're kind of.
Do you still have regular
lazy
TV,
about
or
certain things.
do you only do the Netflix, or?
I do. We don't even have cable anymore. We use just Netflix and Hulu. I mean, I don't use Netflix that often, but I've got a pretty decent queue now.
Yeah. I mean, we have Netflix. In fact, we just recently went back to having TV. We went for almost 9 months without it because Dish was sucky. There wasn't enough good channels to even watch or bother with. And the DVR was like really hokey. Like it was like a challenge to figure out. So we went back to DirecTV, and I'm trying to talk to Christy and then just jumping off and getting off Netflix.
Jumping ship and going back.
Yeah, well, no, only because there's some advantages to having DirecTV because you can kind of log in and if you want to catch a live show on your tablet or phone or whatever, if you have DirecTV, you can pretty much do that. And if you have Roku, you can also have some of those channels enabled because you have that account.
Right.
We also have Amazon Prime. We don't do Hulu though.
I don't know who's okay. Like they're alright, but I'm just not impressed. Like in this day and age, Netflix has updated their app probably 4 different times since I've had it, if not more. That's just off the top of my head,
Right.
and it just keeps getting better. It's streamlined. Like on mobile devices, it looks really good. Moves really good. There's transitions. There's screens. No lag ever.
Yeah.
And I'm using like pretty dated tech a lot of times. But with Hulu, like we had it on the Xbox, I had Netflix and Hulu on my Xbox 360, and Netflix just blew Hulu away
Right.
every single time. We would load the app and it would just go on, and it would we would load Hulu, and it would just sit there sometimes and just spin, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Plus, it looks generic. Like they have like the window style like glass, like shaded glass around some of the tiles they have back there. It almost looks like it's meant for like a touchscreen, and they just ported it to the 360, which I guess you could use like the Microsoft Smart Glass, I guess. But I think it's a generic app. I don't like the app, and I don't like the way they push some of their programming. Like
Yeah.
it's cool to see TV the next day after stuff's been aired because you can catch up to it that way. It's almost like having an online DVR, but you can't get everything. I started to get into Hannibal on NBC. Have you seen that?
No. I mean,
It's
I don't get to watch much, but even if I do, I don't know. I don't really watch much more than comedies anymore.
right, and well, see, and this is something that's piqued my interest. I mean, I've been a big Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal kind of fan, you know.
Okay,
And-
you're not coming over for dinner anymore.
I can't watch that on Hulu. It's like web only, but they advertise it in the app, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, what? Why? Why would you even put this in your app if you can only go to the web and see it? I don't need you to tell me with a fancy sign that says go to the internet, because hell, I could have done that to begin with, you know?
Yeah, I think the online version of Hulu is actually a little better, like like on a PC
Mhm.
or whatever, Mac or whatever. But I think everybody's gonna go that route of well, like CBS already has, where you can just watch CBS online.
Mhm.
But the problem is like they all want $7 or $8 for their own channel, or I think I don't know if HBO Go is like 10 or more. I don't know. I haven't looked into it, but it's like how many of those can you? I mean, that's 4, right? You get four channels for the price of what you could be getting all of DirecTV and 150 channels with. So
Right.
they need to figure that price model out a little bit better because
Well, that's just it. There's no regulation for them to do that. Hulu's got another. What is it? It's like Hulu, it's not Hulu Plus. It's like Hulu Plus Showtime or something like that. It's
Uh-huh.
fucking $18.99 a month.
yeah.
$20 a month for just like I think you get Hulu and now Showtime and everything that most of what Showtime has to offer. And if
Right.
that's all you get, that's great. But I'm fine with my $8.99 or $9.99 right now because I don't need cable. But I don't want to get caught up in that market where, oh well, this is not cable. This is your cable alternative, but we're going to start charging you cable-like prices. Like it's kind of a racket if you think about it, because I think now they can see they can cash in on it, and Hulu needs to because their subscriptions have been down since compared to Netflix and some others.
Right.
So that's telling you something right there. You know?
Well, the biggest problem with Hulu is that even when you were paying, you were still having ads.
Oh yeah,
I mean, how dumb.
they claim that that's been fixed. Like people are paying like that's I think it's like what is that $10.99 or something like that a
Yeah,
month.
I
And
think
it's
that's an
like
extra amount,
you
isn't
get
it?
no ads, but who's that mean?
That's why there's YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 80% of where I watch my entertaining value is on YouTube, because there's just not even going through the TV now. It's just there's nothing ever on that I want to watch, except for maybe I was watching the Cubs when they were actually having a chance at doing something good this year.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, that was a total joke, man.
I'm so mad. I'm so mad about that. That just pissed me off because here they are, right there,
Right.
and you just get swept under the rug. You just lay down and just take it in the ass, like, first day in prison. Like, what the fuck? Why? What happened?
And did you see that play where the drop third and then the guy got safe and then the run came home?
I have not. I can honestly say I've only
That would be
seen half of
if
the
there
Cubs game this season.
if there was a curse moment, that was it. It was like, really?
Yeah.
You guys had the out, you had the inning over, and a drop third. Let's let them score and the runner be safe.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. But
I keep
but
up
the
on
rest
the,
of
I
but
keep
the
up on
rest
my
of the
phone with
series-
that.
The rest of the series.
I know I'll
was
get
just-
too emotionally invested if I watch a Cubs game.
Yeah. The emotions always run high with the Cubs.
Oh yeah. My Facebook feed blew up when they lost those 2 games. I was like, holy shit. Like people were like, I could just see someone's remote get stuck in like a freaking Ultra HD TV. I just got this so I could watch the Cubs games 3 hours later. Damn it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, as soon as they lost that third game, it was like, all right, there's no way. It was at that point. I just happened to turn on check the score for the fourth game, and it was only like the third inning, and it was already 6-0. I was like, pfft,
Right.
I'm not even gonna think about. I'm not even gonna think about it now. It was like when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is over.
So go jerk off my car and strangle myself again.
What?
That's what I was doing after that. After I saw that score, because what I do is I watch it on my phone.
Uh-huh.
So Google's like, "Hey, your team's losing." I'm like, "Okay." So I look, and it is the same thing. It was like 6-2 or 6-3, and I was like, "Yep, guess I'll go beat my dick with a mallet now."
Yeah. Better luck next year.
Yeah, it was just like, done.
Yeah, I think we were all hopeful because of the whole, Cubs winning the World Series in 2015 prediction.
I just wanted them to win the pennant. I didn't even care.
Hey, yeah, I mean, they haven't even been to the World Series since, I think, 1945.
Yeah.
That's
But
nuts.
I can talk about that shit all day. Like, they beat teams that we lost to last year. They beat them pretty good, a lot of times, especially with the Cardinals and the Reds. They had trouble with them last year, and they did good. They did really good. I was really impressed with some of what the team was putting up. I mean, overall, they did have a great season.
Yeah.
So, a friend of mine
You don't have friends.
got me a loot crate. I got this video I still haven't posted yet. This is a while back. It looks like over the summer, but man, that thing was awesome. I got. First of all, do you know what they are?
No.
They're kind of magical boxes filled with everything nerd. Like it's really cool, man. Like I can only, that's the best way to explain it. It's just like a treasure chest full of cool shit. I got it's something like too fancy, but this one that I got, it had I think it was actually a Geek Fuel is what it was called. It wasn't a loot crate, it was Geek Fuel. So I opened it up, and first thing in there is this black T-shirt, and it says I forget what it says. Yes.
It says crack.
But there's like oh, it's Tour de Geek, and it's got Link. He's on on a one of the racing bikes that they have, the 10 speeds,
Yeah.
and there's Link, there's Samus, and there's Batman, and there's Harley in the back, it's pretty funny. But it was since she ordered it, then it was basically it was like a woman's large, and I was like, yep, not fitting into this, so I kind of pushed that off to the side.
Why not, man?
Go! Yeah. I want to give it to my sister. I think I still have it, but underneath all that, there was I got 4 Walking Dead pop vinyl action figures, like the small ones. I got Daryl and Rick and 2 zombies. I got a bunch of buttons. I got a Princess Bride playing cards, like a deck of those, which was pretty neat. I got a Terminator skull. So you've got all these really cool little trinkets in there. And then at the very bottom, there was a Marvel Civil War certified alternate cover. I think it was number 3 edition or number 2 edition, something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the shining gem of the whole thing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I actually read the whole Civil War, and just recently I've been on YouTube, and there's this guy on there. His subscriber name is Comics Explained.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of gives you the rundown on the whole thing. So just kind of have a little reminiscing, because it was good storyline, good ideas, but going back now, you look at it and it's all like, man, this is so about 9/11 and kind of the paranoia that sets in.
Civil War?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's not it's not specifically about 9/11, but it's all
right.
about, all post 9/11, and this is kind of where it, some of these paranoias come about, and then here, but we're gonna turn it into superheroes.
What I didn't understand was, you got Tony Stark, who is every superhero should be registered and we should know who they are. Right. Why? Because you fly around in an iron suit. I didn't understand his reasoning behind it.
I got a harder dick than you do.
Right, exactly. I was just, come on, man, that's not cool. Everybody knows you're Iron Man. Great. That's because you want everybody to know that you're Iron Man. Yeah,
well, yeah, he's a slightly different guy. It's not like Peter Parker where he's trying to hide out.
But yeah, that puts him. Where does that put him? That was the thing. He deserves his anonymity, I think, because who are you for? You have this you have this dilemma where it's like, who are you protecting at that point? Not only are you protecting yourself, but you're protecting like everybody that you care about too. Because
Right.
they also have their own lives. And Stark was just like, fuck it. No one has their own privacy.
Well, I mean,
Stark Industries
yeah,
are on.
but you got to think that Stark had little to lose compared to the rest.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I mean when you live in a tower surrounded by your own, weapons defense, like I guess you're pretty safe. No one's really gonna mess with you too much, unless of course you're like Ultron. But whatever.
What did you think of the Age of Ultron?
I liked it. Two reasons. The story, I think they moved the storyline up pretty quickly.
Well, no kidding.
Only because they had to.
Well, it's called Age of Ultron, and it was like 3 hours long.
Yeah.
It's like, man, that was a short age.
You kind of have to, like, and anyways, like with this rendition of Ultron, like they changed some things. I believe in the comic book, Ultron was a female doing this, and they changed it to be a male for whatever reason. I'm not sure why.
I don't know about that.
but-
I'm not up on the Ultron cred, but I think there was a female Ultron somewhere
Mhm.
down the line. But I think Ultron ultimately was a male from the get-go.
Yeah, from the get-go he was, but every time
Not that
they
it really
found a way
mattered,
to
'cause he's a
destroy
fucking
him, that's the
robot.
thing. Like he would just come back as a different form and a different, like, shape.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's like different iterations of him.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the movie was good. Storyline, I think it was okay. It was a Marvel movie. I'm kind of biased. I'm in love with the Marvel movies because I never thought I would actually see them on screen.
Right.
But this was good. The second reason I liked it is because of the Infinity Wars. It's coming to a close. Like I can't wait to see what happens next. Captain America 3 when that comes out,
Right.
because
Well,
he's
that-
gonna.
that's the Civil
I'm gonna just
War,
put this
right?
out there in case you don't know, but he's
Yeah.
like, if you don't want to listen to this, stop. But Captain America dies. Steve Rogers dies. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Spoiler alert!
Yeah.
You fucked it up, man.
But that's what I want to see. I want to see it. But if you kind of had to pick up on that in Winter Soldier, because Winter Soldier, Bucky grabs his shield and he's sitting there, he catches it and he's holding it there, and it's like, hey, that's right. And I remembered, I was like, that's right, Steve Rogers, he dies. Bucky picks it up, and people kind of, when I told somebody that recently, they were like, are you serious? Captain America dies? I was like, dude, read the comics. Yeah, he's dead. He was like, why would you do that? I can't even see the movie
Mondo,
now.
we're gonna
I
have
was
to
like,
give you a
"It's not even out yet."
spoiler alert T-shirt.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't care.
We know you don't care.
What do you think about the death of Wolverine?
I kind of what did I do? I didn't actually read it. I think it was another YouTube, kind of rundown on that whole thing. I don't have time or money to get into comics, so of course, I just gotta get up to speed on YouTube. That's the beauty. There's plenty of nerds out there that have done the work for me,
Right.
and I get to
Yeah.
listen to their own opinions and not have my own.
I hadn't bought a comic book in ages. I found out about this and I was like, what? But I guess they're killing off a lot of the roster. I guess Deadpool's next. He's supposed to be dying if he's not already. Like I haven't really caught up on that yet.
Yeah, but the Deadpool movie
Yeah.
is gonna be so awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that. It's gonna be rad.
Yeah, I mean the trailer is just insane, and it's only gonna be 10 times better. Hopefully in the theater. It's hard to believe that they're gonna go kind of the hardcore route that they're gonna go with it.
Well, I think this is makeup. A lot of people were mad at what he was in X-Men.
Origins.
Or no, Wolverine Origins. Yeah, that's what it was. Sorry.
Well, yeah, everybody
And-
was pretty like, what the hell is this? This is Baraka from Mortal Kombat.
Right. And that's the thing. Like,
Bitch,
it's
please. Bitch, please!
Whoa, that got crazy.
I mean, it was horrible. It was like Baraka with raccoon eyes. Like it wasn't good. And then, there was talk that it was Ryan Reynolds that didn't want to play Deadpool with the mask on. But as I understand it now, it's actually his agent that didn't want him to cover his face. And it's like, why? That's Deadpool. Deadpool looks like in the trailer, he says like an avocado has sex with an older avocado.
Right.
Like it's true. That's the way
I
it
mean,
looks
Ryan
like.
Reynolds, yeah, you're super cute, but sometimes you gotta play the role.
Yeah, and I don't blame him. Like I said, like he's into this. He did that. Did you see the TV spot he did for on April Fool's Day with Mario Lopez?
No.
I'm putting the link to that up on our Facebook page then,
Oh, I gotta check
because
it
that
out.
shit is hilarious. Oh, dude, you gotta check it out later. You'll laugh because he really gets into it, and they actually talk about X-Men Origins Deadpool. He's like, Ryan Reynolds is like, yeah, well, that's not really Deadpool that I'm portraying this time. That was what they did.
They got to do a retcon, you know, where they recommissioned the character.
Yeah, they have to. Like, he didn't. How do you kill Deadpool in
Well, you
that?
don't.
Like, you just
I mean, Deadpool won't die. In fact,
right.
there's, Thanos put a curse on him so he couldn't die because he was trying to get down with Lady Death,
Yep.
and that was Thanos' main squeeze.
Mm-hmm.
So he put a curse on Deadpool so he could never. All right, sorry, I guess I should have spoiler alert to that.
It may not happen.
I think we're gonna have to preface
You don't
this
know.
whole podcast as a spoiler alert for comic book fans,
That's what we should. We'll just name this one spoiler alert.
right?
I don't know. I mean, if they're gonna do this, if they're gonna do it the right way, if they're gonna break it up into two parts, like they said they are, and then we'll see what happens. Because I know in that series, a lot of superheroes die. If I remember correctly, I think Thanos like backhands Captain America, and he's just like dead and took over. So I wonder if that's what's gonna happen when they get rid of him. You know what I mean?
You know,
So yeah, that's my.
it's weird we're
yeah.
having these conversations and we're damn near 40 years old. You know, what were we supposed to be doing when we were 20?
Right.
Hookers and blow, hookers and blow.
Every day.
I would like to take some time and thank our audience. If you enjoyed listening to us, please subscribe us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, and if you're a total social media junkie, hit us up on Instagram and Twitter. We're there too.
Yeah, and we might give you free beer.